top of Mount Kosciuszko, highest point in Australia, about 2,400 metres. The air's actually quite thin up there. So most of the races are above 1,500 metres, so it's quite high. So you got thinner air. It's all single trail tracks pretty much. So you're going across rocks and beautiful walking tracks. You got to run on stunning views, although it's dark, big chunks of the race. But pretty much there's 160 kilometres in the mountains, climbing up and down. The biggest hill is Mount Kosciuszko, about 60 k's into it. And the last big hill was at 147 k's, right at the end. We're tired, it's hailing. But yeah, that's the outline of the race, really. It was about, I think, 340 starters, 350 starters in the race. My goal was always to get half. If I can become average, that's my goal. Because, man, look where I come from, man, net average. That's average with the crazy people doing this race. It was quite a unique group of people. I got in the top third this time, which has surprised me big time. I think it's because I can grind up hills. I just grind and grind and grind. And also, we've been through so much as stroke survivors, you become mentally tougher. So my philosophy is you never get resilient by going through easy times. As stroke survivors, we've got a really cool opportunity. We're forced to go through hard times. It can make us stronger if we treat it right. But the race started at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm talking about just the 100-mile race here. At 3 a.m. in the morning, it's certainly dark. Everyone's nervous. You're going to go for at least 30 hours, 24 hours. So what do you feel? I don't know. But we got there. All you can do with these races is be in the best position at the start line. You're sort of not 100% sure you'll finish the race. But your focus is to get yourself at the start line feeling good. And hope not many things go wrong. I was lucky enough to get to start line in the best shape I probably could have been. And not many things went wrong during the race. So I was nervous at the start line because of what's in front of me. But it's like stroke survival, you know, breaking it down into bits. So first, you don't think about the finish line 150 k's ago. You go, okay, next step is here. Next aid station is here. Breaking down the small bits. That departmentalizing a big challenge like stroke and other things in life, it's so important not to get lost in longer race. So you can never start counting down 149, 150 k's to go. That's a mind challenge. But you can count down 10 k's, 10 k's. All of a sudden, you've got 30 k's to go. You're more than halfway. So the biggest fear for me in this race was how I actually get back to that mindset of breaking things down again. It came quite natural in the race. So yeah, my lowest point of the race, my coach told me that never pull out at aid stations. So that's the easiest time to pull out. It will get hard, but never pull out. Go down the road a bit, then come back if you decide to throw your toys. But he says to me, you'll get really low between 2 and 4 a.m. I was like, okay. At about 3 o'clock a.m., 3 a.m., I started to get tired and sleepy while I was moving. And I started to fall asleep on my pulse. I was like, I'm low, this sucks. What's going to happen? I still got 60 k's to go. How does this going to work? I either have a sleep on the side of the track here, or I go and make the next aid station carefully, have a cup of coffee. So I went carefully into the aid station, had a good cup of coffee, actually 2 cups of coffee, left holding one. Then the sun came up. Just like all the hard times we go through, the sun comes up. So the next thing, sun come up, and I felt good. Then the last hill we climbed, we went through 3 snow drifts. They cut steps into them, and it was hailing sideways, hitting us in the face. That was pretty low, but I was so close to the finish line then, I wasn't going to quit. And I couldn't feel my hands for 2 hours in the last climb. It was that cold. But yeah, the lowest point was the sleep deprivation. I didn't take that seriously. That's something to consider for my next race coming up. It was interesting. This year I was lucky enough to finish the race, and my coach was at the finish line on the MC. She asked me that question at the finish line. And my first thing she asked me, how was it? I said, that was bloody hard. You said, how does that compare to a stroke? And I said, this is a walk in the park compared to stroke survival. And stroke survival is so much harder. And she burst into tears with that. Yes, I always say, anything I can make myself do, and even if I pay for it, like these races, can never compare to the fatigue, the no finish line you get with a stroke. So fatigue and strokes way worse than fatigue running 100 miles by far. You can't even compare that. I had to sleep every day for 18 months just through fatigue, but learned to brush my teeth and all that stuff again. So that's odd to be having sleep to just to brush your teeth. Now being 100-mile races, pretty special. But yeah, there's no doubt about it to me. Stroke is always way harder than any races I ever do. Yeah, it is. Yeah, interesting. You think about, will I ever get back to what I was completely before? Probably not, because there's a little bit I've rewired around the damaged bit of my brain. But how good can I make myself? That's really not a stroke thing, that's a life thing. So how good, everyone can make themselves better if they work over time. So now it's about being the best person I can be, more than just be about stroke recovery. So can I be better in the future? Yes, I can. Is that stroke recovery? I'm not sure. So certainly, I could certainly get better with running, better with life, better with speech. It comes down where you want to spend your energy and life. And I run because it gives me more energy to be fitter. Being fitter allows me to do everything I do in life. Because stroke makes your brain's not quite as efficient. So I'm a massive advocate to get yourself fit as you can be. Then you can do more than just be about stroke recovery. So can I be better in the future? Yes, I can. Is that stroke recovery? I'm not sure. So certainly, I could certainly get better with running, better with life, better with speech. It comes down where you want to spend your energy and life. And I run because it gives me more energy to be fitter. Being fitter allows me to do everything I do in life. Because stroke makes your brain's not quite as efficient. So I'm a massive advocate to get yourself fit as you can be. Then you can do more stuff. It's debilitating, really. I can't get away from it. I find it's odd when you to explain it and try and articulate it to anyone else that never experienced it before. It just so you can't do anything. And simple things like emotional control, that takes so much cognitive drain on a person. So next thing, if you're fatigued, you've got no emotional control. Well, I didn't in my stroke. Everything becomes hard in life. So you can't think, you can't speak. Headaches gets worse. I think I said it before. The other thing about fatigue for stroke survivors is that means your brain is working. Your brain's got to work to rewire itself. So as stroke survivors, we don't like fatigue. But to be honest, fatigue's the thing that means that brain's working. And sometimes fatigue's creating new pathways. So my philosophy is 70% fatigue is okay. You don't want to make that worse every single day, or you're in trouble. But it's good for us to be slightly fatigued, as long as our doctor's okay with that. You're not making it worse and worse every single day. And also, we need that stretch to make our brain rewire. Why did toddlers sleep during the day? Because everything's new, everything's rewired. As stroke survivors, we have rewired our brain. That's why the first 18 months, I'm pretty sure I slept during the day. Because everything was new to me. Speaking, movement, thinking, that same process happens. So there probably is quite a few things. Belief is the biggest thing. Belief drives people to have a better outcome. So you got to have a belief you can be better. And then don't wait for motivation. Just start acting. Acting creates outcomes. Outcomes create belief. That gets motivation. So don't wait for a fine day to start rehabilitating yourself. You do it anyway. The other thing is small things build up over time massively. But those 1% things over 5 years become massive. It's not your first 6 months. You do it for life. You learn new things forever. That's all we've got to do, learn new things as stroke survivors. But I didn't dream of doing 100 miler for 5 years. It took me 6.5 years to get there, but doing 1% or 0.1% changes every single time. So there's no straight line to these things as well. It's always ups and downs. I've been through the lows of the lows, and also I found absolutely amazing. I learned over time, be careful of the highs, because you know you're going to fall down next time. And don't panic when you're really low and depressed, because you'll move back up again. That waves like this over time. So yeah, just act, rehabilitate yourself, and don't just do small things all the time. Stress yourself, and be careful with medical advice, of course. But don't fear fatigue. If you get fit, you can do more. So I'm a big, mass advocate of exercise. Exercise can remove stroke risk. Even more, exercise create neuroplasticity, things like BDF that can make your brain more plastic again. You can do more things with your brain. I speak better when I exercise. When I run, I feel better mentally. My brain works better again. There's so many benefits written about power of a movement. So my view is move, people, move. Hopefully UTMB World Series finals in France, Chamonix, 172 kilometers around Mount Blanc. 10 Ks of climbing, probably 40 hours, and 2 full nights with no sleep. I've got a sponsor for it lined up, Corporate Energy, amazing sponsor. But also, to get that race, that's the world finals of these distances. To get in these races, you must be elite and win races, or you go through lottery process, what public does, and the chance to get in is quite small. They've got a policy, get direct entry if you got some form of disability and neurological impact. I send my stroke stuff away, and they say absolutely